Evening and welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another live broadcast on your favorite football updates channel at Football Tribe UG. It's a pleasure to be back this late evening. It's about approximately about 4 minutes at the top of the hour of 11 p.m. So today we are very fortunately on time, and it's good to keep that. It's always good to keep that. I know we've fallen short multiple times, but yeah, today we got it right, and we are here on time. I hope majority of you do join us for this evening's broadcast, and we engage so many things to talk about during the course of today. Apologies, trying to have our audience tested before we get this conversation going already. So just a second. So yeah, plenty of things to talk about. Chelsea's pursuit for Jorrel, Hato, and Xavi Simons. We'll get to speak about, Arsenal's victory over AC Milan in Singapore. We'll speak about Marcus Rashford being unveiled at Barcelona. We'll speak about Hugo Ekitike. We'll speak about, even the transfer updates, because plenty of news is making the rounds out there. And yeah, we'll get into the thick of all that. Just join us for this evening's broadcast, and we'll bring you to the know of every single piece of update that there is for you to know about in as far as the latest from that world is concerned. I wish to send my special shout outs to every single one of you that managed to join our morning broadcast. It wasn't too long. It lasted for about 35 minutes, or I think, yeah, around that, approximately 35 minutes. And we wrapped it up, but it was very engaging. So thank you to every single one of you that managed to catch that broadcast in the morning. So just do the same for this one tonight as well. And let's see where the conversation leads us. But like I said, we'll be speaking about, Arsenal's victory over AC Milan, Hugo Ekitike, Marcus Rashford, Chelsea's pursuit for Simons and Jorrel Hato. I can see we have Shireza Love then says hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? I'm good. I'm good, Shireza Love. Good to have you on the channel. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. My Arabic is not too good, but thank you for being with us. Marciano Cineros, good to have you on the broadcast. Metalogics news. I don't know what language that is that you typed in. Shireza Love says, why country America, Pakistan? I do not know what you meant by that, but my name is Robert Kesakos, and I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda. That's where we are streaming this from. It's approximately just a minute to the top of the hour of 11 p.m. So it's a pleasure to have you all on this broadcast. Kindly do me the absolute honor and favor of liking the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel as well. Assalam alaikum. Okay. Main Pakistan Sea Beats Kara. I think I'm sorry, Shireza Love. I'm very unfamiliar with your language or whatever language it is you're trying to type in. So you'll forgive me if I mispronounce some of the words or misread or even fail to read some of your comments. But thank you so much for the love and support. Just do me one kind honor or one kind favor and subscribe to the channel, seeing that you're new here. Every single one of you help support me to my journey to 2,000 subscribers. We are currently at about 1,400 plus. So do me that absolute honor and subscribe to the channel, but also like the broadcast. Like I said, it's a football channel, so I'll be speaking about the latest from the world of football and things of that nature. So every single one of you that is just joining us, please remember that. I love you too. Here, sir. Maximum respect. Namaste. If you're familiar with that Hindi language. I know some Pakistanis and Indians do share that. But anyways, it's a pleasure to be here this evening, and we'll get to speak the latest from the world of sport. Where do we start things off? Because, like I said, there's just plenty for us to talk about this evening, and it's never a dull day with when it comes to transfer speculation and gossip and things of that nature. Arsenal fans are still waiting for bigger news for them and more, and when it comes to Victor Gyökeres and things of that nature. Then Emerson Royal, I will get maybe to speak about him. There we will see. A deal is trying to be hijacked in that respect. We may have a mention of him, but where do we start? Where do we start from? Where do we start from? I think we should start with Barcelona. Let's start with Marcus Rashford because he has formally been unveiled as a new Barcelona player this evening or afternoon, depending on what the time zones you are in respectively. And yeah, he will wear the shirt number 14. I think that's the same number that Thierry Henry wore when he left Arsenal and joined Barcelona. That was in 2007 because I think he left after the 2006-2007 season and he joined Barcelona, where he went on to win the UEFA Champions League title. That was in 2009 when they beat Manchester United in the finals by 2-0. And I think he was still part of this team when they won it again in 2011. So, no, I think he had left Barcelona at the time because he went and played for, I think, New York Red Bulls and then had, a return to Arsenal during the January spell. That is the MLS, season break. That was in January. So, Marcus Rashford will be wearing the shirt number 14. It's a season-long loan with an option to buy for Barcelona. So they will take care of, 100% of his wages. He did agree to take a pay cut of about 15%. And here is some of what he had to say about him joining Barcelona. He says, if I'm at Barca, is also because of Hansi Flick. The conversations I had with him were very, very positive. He has proven to be one of the top coaches. He led a young team to such a successful season, has returned to the preseason wanting even more. So those were some of the comments from Marcus Rashford. Then he also said Barcelona is a club where people's dreams come true. What the club stands for means a lot to me, as well as it feels like I'm at home, and this is a big factor in my choice. I feel I'm joining a family. So again, those were just some of the comments from Marcus Rashford after officially joining as a new Barcelona player. So very, very incredible stuff there for the 27-year-old. He had a little clip where he says, I think he said, it's official, something like that. He appeared to be making a phone call. I do not know if that phone call was to Gary Lineker, who was the last Englishman or English player to play for Barcelona when he joined them in 1989. LFC is back with us. Good to have you back, LFC. I hope you having a wonderful day. Hope you've been well throughout the day. So that's it with Marcus Rashford. So quickly, let's move away from Marcus Rashford and fly away to, because Man United also, put out the announcement that they had reached an agreement with Barcelona for the transfer of Marcus Rashford. Those were formalities. And then Liverpool also officially announced that they had reached an agreement to sign Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt on a 6-year contract. Of course, they said pending, international, like documents. I think he needs to get a work permit and things of that nature that they feel, last I's and T's that they ought to dot, to cross some T's and dot some I's before everything is in place for him to start playing for Liverpool. The expectation is that he will fly out to Asia and join the rest of the Liverpool squad who flew out earlier this week to Hong Kong. So congratulations to all of you Liverpool fans. I can see LFC is really, really happy with the signing. A total of 79 million pounds is what is expected, if everything works out for Hugo Ekitike in the red jersey at Liverpool. 69 million pounds is the guaranteed fees, while £10 million will be unexpected add-ons for that one more deal for Arne Slot. That's his official fourth signing of the summer. And now, in that respect, we are talking about first team. The first team, I know some of you may say, oh, there's some new youngsters. Actually, it is the fourth because there's another goalkeeper that was signed as a free agent from Preston North End. So congratulations to you, Liverpool fans. I think Liverpool are assembling a very, very decent team. What's up, Peter Parker? Good to have you back on the channel. We have missed you for a little bit of a while. I hope you are doing well, my brother. So, like I keep saying, it's really, really an exciting time to be a Liverpool fan. I remember the days when we would sit in pubs, in local pubs, to watch football, and it always surprised me to a certain extent, given my age bracket, of how I had friends who are supporting Liverpool. Now, Liverpool's success at the time had only come back in 2005 when they beat AC Milan to win the UEFA Champions League title. And you had to scroll as far back as many years for you to reflect on Liverpool's glory. And so it always remained a surprise unless you knew the entirety of their history or the history of the league in the UK before it even became the Premier League, for you to have started supporting Liverpool. Of course, people like John Barnes, Steve McManaman, Michael Owens are some of the big names that attracted different fans to support Liverpool. But then that they signed Jibril Cisse, and that was in 2002. Some Africans came along, in support of Liverpool because they had signed, a Liverpool player. I think they had signed an African player. I think they also signed El Hadj Diouf at some point. So, and that kind of thing. But if you did not know that rich in history about Liverpool, I think it was always a surprise that you're seated next to a Liverpool fan. Usually, there was a huge disparity in terms of age between, let's say, Man United fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, and Liverpool fans. For example, it was easy at that time. It was easy to find a very young Chelsea fan because then Jose Mourinho had come in. He was winning trophies at Chelsea. Then Man United, we all know about their dominancy. Then Arsene Wenger and his Arsenal era, dating far back to 98, 97, and then onwards. So that was easy to comprehend. But in as far as the context of Liverpool was, people wondered, or it was either a fan that was much older than you, which you respected that they knew Liverpool long before you knew about football itself. So, and now it comes to present day, where Liverpool are, back into their glory days. Of course, you do not take away them reaching the finals of the UEFA Champions League. That was in 2007, and they lost to AC Milan by 2-1. Then you fast forward, those I think it was around 2008, 2007, 2008 when they knocked out Arsenal. Then you also come to 2018, and then eventually when they win it in 2019, then also winning the Premier League title with Jurgen Klopp and now Arne Slot. So it looks like Liverpool are seeking to get back to that dominant era where they get to dominate English football. The way we've seen Manchester City do it in the last, within the last 8 years. They've really been dominant. Then the way Manchester United did between, I think between 2007 to 2011 thereabout, actually to 2013, because they won it 3 consecutive times between 2007 and 2009. Then Chelsea won it in 2010. Then I think they came back and won it in 2011, Man United. Then they missed it in 2012 because then it went to Manchester City. That's as far as my memory serves. I hope I'm not wrong with that. And then, of course, when they missed it on final day in 2012, they went and signed Robin Van Persie that summer and then won it in 2013 before Sir Alex Ferguson hung up the boots, everything to once again be dominant, to get back to that era. Apologies on the internet glitch. I hope it does not disrupt us for the better course of this broadcast. But so, I mean, you look at the additions that they've made in an already what is believed to be a strong team, actually the best team in the Premier League already. and you adding Florian Wirtz, you added Milos Kakes, arguably the best left back last season. You've added Jeremy Frimpong, the best right back in the German Bundesliga last season. Then you've added Hugo Ekitike. You've signed Mamadashvili, a very, very good goalkeeper. I mean, that one was signed last summer, but he officially joins. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking good. It is not to say that Liverpool are without their weaknesses or where they could need, more squad players in terms of, formidable backups. For example, in that centre back wall, I think they need a body there. In that holding midfield role, they need a body there. And then any other, incomings could largely depend on outgoings. For example, if they do lose a player like Luis Diaz, then it is only understandable, it's only reasonable that then they make a replacement. So, congratulations, Liverpool fans and Liverpool as a whole. They are formally announcing the signing of Hugo Ekitike. Only 23 years of age, 22 goal involvement and 12 assists. 22 goals and 12 assists across all competitions last season for Eintracht Frankfurt. One of those players that is really, really very reliable. So this is really, really a brilliant signing. So he's more of a prospect, same age profile with when you signed Darwin Núñez, but Darwin Núñez was coming from the Portuguese league. This one is coming from the German Bundesliga. We all know that the German Bundesliga is, miles stronger than the Portuguese league, but that notwithstanding, we hope everything does work out eventually for Hugo Ekitike, because I've been trying to remember the last outright striker that Liverpool had that really, really worked out perfectly well. I think you'd have to go back to Luis Alberto Suarez. You have to go back to Fernando Torres, and those kinds of players, because Ande Caro, it didn't work out. Robbie Keane, it didn't work out. Peter Crouch was, more average. Benteke, it didn't really work out. Divock Origi was oftentimes average. So yeah, you sort of struggle to remember the last Liverpool striker that went on and hit really those big numbers the way Fernando Torres was doing it. So I hope everything does work out for Hugo Ekitike in that respect. Then moving forward, I think we're done with those two. Let's start off with Chelsea, because Chelsea are really, really serious in the transfer window. Chelsea are behaving like they've not signed anybody already. And I've told this to some people before in my different circles. I think even today I was having, not today, maybe yesterday or the other day, that I get the feeling that Chelsea are just being greedy. I know they're in the business of trading players, but we're talking about a club that was recently fined by UEFA for being in breach of the financial fair play rules. And here they are spending like they weren't even fined. Now, I do understand they made, humongous amounts of money from winning the FIFA Club World Cup recently. Apologies on the internet glitch. I do not know what's causing that, but kindly bear with me for purposes of this broadcast. And then, so what was I speaking about? Yes, we are speaking about Chelsea, because Chelsea remain in the market. They are seriously pursuing a deal for Jorrel Hato from Ajax. That's the 19-year-old left-footed centre back who can also play as a left back. So very, very brilliant young player. One being monitored by Arsenal, by Liverpool, and Chelsea are swooping in to get a deal done for Jorrel Hato before anybody else does. And on that note, therefore, Chelsea have reached an agreement on personal terms with Jorrel Hato, and the defender has asked Ajax to leave. Negotiations are advancing to final stages as fee discussed now is around 40 million euros. Although initially it had been reported in some circles that it would take in the region of 60. But again, this is according to Fabrizio Romano. It says Hato has informed Ajax management and the manager of his clear desire to join Chelsea. So that news has come in in the last 42 minutes. So during the course of this broadcast. So, anyways, you can see they are open to letting go of Tosin Aderabio if an offer comes for around 25 to 30 million pounds. And remember, they only signed him last summer as a free agent when he left Fulham, so they will be making total profit off that deal. Then, you know, of course, they do have setups in Levi Colwill, in Wesley Fofana, in who else is there? Tosin Aderabio himself, Trevor Chalobah, and they do have Renato Viega, who is being pursued by Atletico de Madrid, so they are open to letting him go. So indeed, they need an extra body in there. So those negotiations are really advancing with Ajax well, and they hope to get a deal done in the coming days. But also Chelsea remain in pursuit of Xavi Simons. Now, when it comes to the deal for Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig, the 22-year-old Dutch international, Chelsea are yet to reach an agreement on personal terms with the player before advancing. But the club-to-club talks are continuing between the two sides. Between the two clubs to find a deal for Xavi Simons. Again, Chelsea are trying to pursue that deal just early on in time to beat all the other suitors, because teams like Arsenal are really interested in services. Bayern Munich are interested. They made inquiries about conditions to sign Xavi Simons. So Chelsea are also advancing on that front, and everything so far is going smoothly. The player has expressed his desire to join, the Chelsea project, and we only have who will go or will advance. Guys, apologies. I know our internet is sort of struggling. It keeps bouncing a little bit, but I hope you do bear with us and stay for the remainder of this podcast. So, the remaining pursuit of Xavi Simons as well as Jorrel Hato deals that they can close, although the one of Xavi Simons, according to Fabrizio Romano, could depend on some outgoings. And among the outgoings that they are looking at is Raheem Sterling, who apparently is attracting interest from Bayer Leverkusen and Juventus. Then the other is Joao Felix, for whom they are engaged in two negotiations with Benfica has already agreed to personal terms on a 5-year contract with the 25-year-old, Portuguese forward. What is left is for Benfica to agree on a total package with Chelsea. And reports did suggest that they were looking at a fee of about 20 to 25 million euros, with Chelsea expected to have on a very big future sell-on clause on that deal. A sell-on clause of approximately 40 to 50%. That's what we are getting when it comes to a deal for Joao Felix. So let's wait and see how everything will advance on that front as well. But negotiations do continue for Joao Felix to return to Benfica. Yes, to return to Benfica. Let's just wait and see how those will be concluded. And I get the feeling that it will be a good move for Joao Felix to go back to Portugal and regain his form. Maybe we will get to rediscover the dynamite that we know is still in there in a player like Joao Felix. Anyways, allow me move on from Chelsea and their pursuit for those two, and let's speak matters Arsenal, because today Arsenal were involved in some preseason action in Singapore, and they managed to beat up against AC Milan by a 0-0. That was in normal time, although they lost to the post-match penalties. It's a game where, regardless of what the result was in normal time, and they were destined for a penalty shootout, and that penalty shootout was eventually won by AC Milan 6-5. A couple of missed penalties on either side. I thought Kepa Arrizabalaga was good when it came to the penalty shootout, but overall in that game, Arsenal did start with a very strong team, by the way. They had David Raya in goal. They had William Saliba playing alongside Ricardo Carafiori. They had Zichenko, Alexander Zichenko at left back. They had Ben White at right back. They had Christian Nogard in midfield alongside Ethan Nwaneri and who else? Who else? There's a player. There's a player that started alongside. Yes, and Declan Rice. Yes, Declan Rice also was part of that midfield. Then Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, and Kai Havertz started that game. Of course, almost the entire 11, starting 11 was substituted out eventually, especially in the second half. But I thought in that opening first half, William Saliba was really, really good. A couple of times he had to match Rafael Leao's pace to beat him, to stop him from scoring on the other end, and I thought he matched that really, really well. For the first preseason game, okay, their second, the first one was against Rashford. But again, you expect these players to be a bit rusty. They're just coming back from their summer break, and yeah, they're bound to be a bit rusty, a bit of pace. They're yet to pick that momentum. I thought William Saliba was really, really good. Then Christian Nogard, I thought was really, really comfortable on the ball. His ball recovery was good. His passing was good. He nearly provided an assist to Ethan Nwaneri, who did a half turn on that arc around the 18 yards box. Excuse me, apologies again on that internet glitch. Ethan Nwaneri again looked sharp in that first half. There's a defender he sent to the trenches really when he did that turn and dribbled past him. It was impressive, really, really to watch. Gabriel Martinelli was not sharp at all. He looked out of pace. He looked like any other, like a player, really, really, just returning from a summer break. That's what he looked like. So he was not sharp. He lacked the pace. I think on only one occasion did he get past his defender. So he struggled a bit, really. Then Bukayo Saka remained visibly, as strong, intelligent as always. The run he did make in the second half to score that goal that turned out to be the match winner for Arsenal, I thought was an impressive one, an intelligent one, but then take nothing away from Jakub Kiwior, because Jakub Kiwior's ball that was floated in, was simply immaculate, that it only needed a tap to end up in back of the net, which Bukayo Saka did. So for me, when you asked me in that first half, I thought William Saliba, Christian Nogard, and Ethan Nwaneri and Bukayo Saka were the standout performers. Ricardo Carafiori looked good as well. Alexander Zichenko inverting as the left back was equally good. So take nothing away from him as well. And then, of course, we had a whole mammoth of substitutions, including Martin Odegaard coming in for Ethan Nwaneri, Kepa Arrizabalaga coming in for David Wire. Christian Nogard paved the way for Martin Zubimendi. Martin Zubimendi, when he came on, I thought what he showed us in those in those 45 minutes was composure, maturity, and calmness on the ball. He looked really, really good. I know 45 minutes is really, really a short period of time to judge a player based on, but I thought there were very, very positive signs based on what we saw. Leandro Trossard came in for Gabriel Martinelli, first the goalkeeper, impressive. I think Ricardo Carafiori provided the assist for Bukayo Saka's, a goal with an impressive cross in. I thought he was really, really good. Amal Lewis Kelly came in for Alexander Zichenko. I thought he looked energetic and, very, very much impressed, ready to go. Max Doman came in for Bukayo Saka. I mean, this 15-year-old looked like he's played, at the highest levels before, and yet he was making his Arsenal debut in regards to a senior team, and yet he looked really, really comfortable. Wasn't afraid to take on players. He's not afraid to have an eye at goal and things of that nature. So I thought he looked really, really impressive. Max Doman. I mean, I looked at him and I thought to myself, what was I doing at 15 years? I was, in high school, busy trying to cram, busy trying to cram a bit of chemistry and physics formulas, etc., at the age of 15, and yet you have Max Doman. Then Ben White paved the way for Josh Nicholas. Again, another impressive performance. on the night for Josh Nicholas. I thought he looked